Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I am Tatey, this is Tatey's World Gaming, and we are back today with another episode of Cepheus Protocol. Now the devs have released a couple of updates over the past few days, which have also sort of been in effect with some of my previous playthroughs. So I effectively wanted to just start a new playthrough, but mostly trying to check out these changes and fixes. So there's been a whole bunch of updates to the way the circ unit AI works, targeting systems, looks to be like a little bit of work on pathfinding as well. So essentially what we're going to do today is have a little bit of fun and see essentially see if we can find out how effective these changes are in regards to how the circ units as well as the zombie units basically traverse around the map, how they interact with each other, the targeting priority system that they've got set. I want to see what changes have been happening to that, mainly see how the circ units deal under certain situations. So this playthrough is essentially going to be a little bit different than almost any other playthrough I've done, because like I said, we will be heavily focusing on those particular aspects. So as such, what I am going to do is I'm just going to tweak a few settings here. We're going to leave everything else, including the infected and all their rates and everything. But I just want to... and civilian bonuses. So other than that, I'm pretty much going to leave everything else as default. It was just mainly the civilian bonuses and our generic income bonuses. So essentially what I am going to do is we are going to put a quite an interesting little set of restrictions on the way I can play this game, mainly to help facilitate in trying to get some of these situations and scenarios to play about, just so we can see how much has changed when it comes to, in regards to the zombie AI, the unit AI, the targeting systems and algorithms and all that other jazz. And I think the best way to do that will be to essentially set up in a place that we know is easily defensible or defendable from the start. It takes a little bit to set up, but once that setup is done, it is very easy to defend and to provide backup when it's needed. Those of you who have watched some of my earlier playthroughs may already know where I'm going with this, and no, it is not actually Sentinel Island, even though that is probably the most defensible point on this entire game map at the moment. No, we're not actually going to go there. There's actually a place which does work better simply because it gives you much more room than starting the game on Sentinel Island. So with that said, just to give you a bit of an idea of where we're going with this gameplay, I am going to get this started. Now there is just one other thing I think I might... Okay, I may have to restart the game a few times because depending on where these spawns may dictate whether or not my starting idea will work. But if that is the case, you may just have to bear with me a few moments whilst I go through a few new games just to try and get a reasonable distribution of the zombie spawns. So just wait for it to load up. And we are in... Oops. We can just... I'm not sure if they fixed that. I probably should have checked that. And I probably should have also checked where the zombies spawn. But the only thing I'm caring about is you're safe. You're safe. And you're safe. That was all I cared about. So long as those are safe, we are good to rock and roll. Actually, is there even any infected? Yes, okay. For a moment there I got worried maybe I got a really interesting spawn, in which case there was, yeah, no infected on my island whatsoever. That definitely would have been interesting. That's definitely one thing I can say. But I really should have checked where the infection was before just getting rid of that. Wow, is this island not it? Oh, no, we got a pod there, so that's okay. So we are going to have to take out that bridge. That is definitely something we're not going to be able to get around. But that is okay, we can deal with that. What we do need though is to get these guys down here ASAP, because they do have some work that I need them to do. So essentially, we're going to drop off our engineer here to start a wall off up here, and then, oh, sorry, I should say our engineer and our little assault guy here are going to be dropped off there. Winter, meanwhile, is going to continue coming down here to drop off our capture truck, so we can start capturing these two zones. And then basically, once that's done, once the engineer's done there, he's going to run down to there. Winter's going to come up to here and protect this bridge for now, whilst the engineer starts on defenses there, and we basically set up our base. And we are basically going to restrict ourselves to just having these two and the little island over here. That is basically going to be the extent of my capture abilities. So, with that said, if I want to go out and, fight the zombies, I've got to push out on foot or drop people in by air. And this is what I was getting at when I was saying that doing it in this particular way is going to make it easier for me to be able to create situations in which my people are, under lots of zombie fire and maybe getting swarmed from a couple of directions, and the targeting AI is going to be pushed to its limits, and we're just going to see how well it holds up, how long the troops survive, as well as how these changes will affect the already in-game things you can do, like for example how it works with the attack move, your run options and things like that. Just a few things I want to test out. Always good to know these things, always fun to test out these things and see how far you can push the limits of the game. So we'll just speed it up so our Sparrow gets in here a little bit quicker. Okay. We're just going to drop our Sparrow here. As soon as it drops, slow down time so we can get the engineer and you out. And we need you coming down here. Whilst time is still slowed down. Oh, right, I can't do that until... Okay. Change of plans then.
On station.
Okay, we're just gonna have to go with what we got. That's okay. We can work with this. You need to come up here for now. You can start running up to here. We just gotta wait for this thing to get in. This is gonna slow us down. I completely forgot that you had to capture the zone before you could actually build your circ turret or your circ facility. I don't know why I've played this game enough times that I should have known, but yeah, for some reason I still managed to forget. Now, I must say, I do like the new unit cards, though I do wish I could move this one down here. But, oh well. It is what it is.
Engineer ready.
I am going to miss the ability to, be able to... That's not what I wanted.
More work to do.
The ability to be able to move these things around. I will miss that, but I do like these smaller unit cards. They will make managing all the different groups a little bit easier, especially with them basically restricted to one side. Means we do have much more basically screen space to view the battlefield and what's going on around us. So that is a very nice update, I must say. I do like that a lot.
I love hard work.
I really wish I could just build fencing without having to place the circ facility. Well, in which case, we need to delay you. You need to go down there.
Ready to go.
The closest infection to here, we should be okay, because it was a bit of the way back. I was over on this one. So we might have a bit of a time delay there. We're taking out this bridge will keep us safe from this one for now. And we'll delay any Oh, I don't know, 'cause see, that's not much of a distance, and they're likely to start heading my way if I pop down a civilian tent. So I may have to wait on building that, but I do want to get that guy in down here defending, just in case any stray zombies, you know, decide to go for a walk down there. That is definitely something I don't want to have happen. So as soon as this thing gets down, we'll get him capturing straight away. And meanwhile, we want our chopper to be flying down here because we can use winter. No, we can't use winter. Okay. Well, that's gonna make it interesting. Well, I guess with that building up there, let's just move you down there for now then. Winter, you need to come down here. This thing has captured that, so let's get us a command tent. I guess here would actually be a pretty good spot. So get the command tent there. And we want to get this circ facility. I'll put it down about here, I guess. So,
Do you have something for me to fix?
get that. We'll get that about there. And
Give me an
we
order.
will get one of these about here. Oh wait, it needs to be... I guess I can always build an extension line. I just want to get that ammo. What if we...
Huh? What?
That should get them both, actually. So we should be good there. Okay.
What can I do for you?
So that should hopefully set that up. This guy's dropping in.
Give me orders.
Our chopper should be getting here. So can you drop Winter off just on the bridge will do. She should be able to easily hold that down for now. We just need to mainly focus on this section here. This is going to be our most problematic point. And then we want to get an ammo tent over this side. And that way. Get you to come down here to pop an ammo tent on that. Okay, that did it? Looks like it has. Okay, now that we got this in, we can at least get some people, and that's the main thing for our initial defenses. Actually, let me just cancel one of each of you. Where's our engineer? He's down
What can I
here.
do for you?
He's almost done with that. So, let's get our fencing up. Now, I wonder if they've actually fixed the pathing out to here. I guess we're about to find out. I'll do that one last, because that one's going to be more fiddly. And then we want to get one. Okay. We want to get it going from about there. How big is a single gate? Like that big. Okay, so from about there to there, that should be perfect for a single gate. And get the two little end bits on. And there we go. She's nice and secured now.
Give me an order.
With this guy dropping these in. And then we should still hopefully have enough to research our medic as well as our flashlights, because both of those are very important, and we do need both of them in order to ensure that we don't die horrible, horrible deaths, especially at night time.
I have a bad feeling about this.
So we'll just have these units continuing to run. I don't know why you didn't continue on your way. And it's quite interesting too that your operator comes with the flashlight attachment, where it's pretty much every other unit doesn't. The only other exception, of course, is your Sparrow. It seems to come with it too. I mean, no game's perfect. There will always be, I guess, unintended insights and bugs and things like that. But still, I just find that one a little interesting. Everything else, but those two basically starting units, you get right at the start, you need to upgrade the flashlight for.
Moving out.
Like, even Winter doesn't come with it, and she's like meant to be a special, like, special operations person. And I mean, wouldn't that technically be what the operator falls under? I mean, I know it's only here as the first person unit, but still, wouldn't technically his classification be a specialist, or her classification if you're using the female variant? At least that's the way I'd look at it. At least the way I understand it anyway. I could be wrong. Every possibility that I am wrong. Yes, you're still driving. I just had it in slow-mo.
Moving there.
As you wish.
See, I don't like that. I don't even though I built it
As
so
you wish.
it's meant to be right next to it, I don't understand why it does leave that little dicky little gap, but
Ready and willing, sir.
I'm guessing it'll do it on this side
I'm
too.
at your command.
Hey, look, this one didn't deploy. So 1,000 for the medics and 500 for the flashlight, and we can even get ourselves another engineer. Okay,
Give me orders.
two of you to run
On
your butts
station.
down to there, and we want two of you to run your butts down to there. Now we can speed it back up. So essentially right now we've unfortunately just got to do the good old setting up the base operations. What I might... it's never a fun part of the game. I'm just trying to decide whether or not I'm gonna cut it out or not. So you two didn't end up
Tell me
running.
what
I
to
don't know
kill.
why, but...
Trigger fingers itching, sir.
So now that everyone has a flashlight, before I forget, let me enable everyone's flashlights. Let's just double check that I've enabled them all. Because like I said,
At your
nighttime in
command.
this game,
I've got your 6.
deadly. So our engineer seems to not like building this one. There he goes. Our second engineer is dropping in. And right, we do, before I forget, we need to get an operator out as
Engineer
quickly as
ready.
possible to blow up that bridge down there.
I love hard work.
That is definitely something we need to take out ASAP. Okay, so we now have 2. The problem is, do I want to spend 1,000 in order to capture, like, put down this command tent, or save that money in order to blow up this bridge when this guy comes in? And in 5 seconds. I mean, it's going to take a little while for me to actually make the money I need. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do in that regard, but at least we do have a few units here for the defense. So our main issues right now is just this bridge. And I'm not too sure how I'm going to
join the Air Force?
fix that one just yet.
Do you need me?
Once this
think
bridge
I
is
prefer
blown
my
out, it
train
won't be
duty,
so
sir.
bad, because it's just then this big long run. And the good thing is I can actually set up. So like couple of people here, maybe a couple of people here, and then another final thing here. So that way, even if a civilian does get through, that's infected, hopefully they turn into a zombie before getting to the end of the bridge, therefore one of those groups of people should hopefully take him out. That's the theory behind it, but whether it works like that or not is a whole nother story. See,
What do you
I
want?
really dislike that because, like, I'm really not I have had situations where zombies can, you know, squeeze through that. So essentially what it means is I'm going to have to try and rebuild these little side sections and see if I can get it right. But at least these guys are coming down. We've got our 2,500,
Do
so
you need me?
once this guy gets here, we'll be able to blow
Give
up
me
that
orders.
bridge. I don't know if it's going to make it any quicker, because by the time he starts up his blade, gets to height, gets up here, it's pretty much going to be on top of it. But it'll get this guy down here quicker, so we're going to do it anyway. We need at least 3,500 in order to be able to put down that command tent. That's got to be our next focus, because we need to increase our money supply just that little fraction of a little bit more.
I think I'd prefer latrine duty, sir.
But so long as we take out this bridge, we will be okay. I'm not too worried about up here at the moment, because essentially nothing can really get through. Even if something does come up to this line here, they're just going to get blasted. That's why we've got our two little men there defending. These guys are all in place now, which is also great. So we want one heavy to be over here,
Copy that.
looking like that. We want one heavy being over here, looking like that. We want you being about there and you being about there. Right now, I don't have to worry about ammo for them or clearing these trees, simply because I know that the pods are far enough back that I'm not... If any fence is going to have an issue with infected civilians, it's going to be this one right now. They may end up pathing down here at some point, but by then we'll have that fence completed, and hopefully by then this one completed as well. But we do have this guy moving into range, so let's get our carpet bomb underway, and the two of you can now go down and join Winter. So there we go. No more zombies can get to me from that bridge. Now, the idea of this is, so essentially we've got our our assault riflemen, and if things go really, really bad and I have to, you know, I can always blow up that bridge. I really hate destroying two bridges to an island and locking down the island, because, excuse me, because that can make the gameplay a little bit too easy. It's also one of the reasons why I miss this island actually being over on this side like it used to be, because with having the all-around connection, it really made actually having to tactically think about, you know, your base location, your defenses, and all of that other stuff, as well as, you know, ways that you can manipulate the zombie presence to try to be as advantageous for you as possible. Now, I know it's a zombie contagion, and it's never going to be too advantageous for you in any way, shape, or form as a player, but you can still make it work to your advantage. By destroying certain bridges and that, you are able to manipulate zombie pathing. Essentially, by taking that out, a lot of those tactical options were essentially taken out. We still do have them in terms of these bridges, but again, it's there in a limited capacity. Like, essentially we only have these bridges to work with now. It was more fun when we had the other bridges here that we could make the tactical choices around too. And to be honest, when it comes to this one, because of the proximity of both these bridges, there's the only real tactical choice, especially given the makeup of the two bridges, is bomb the short one, keep the long one. The reason for that is primarily, like I said, it's much more feasible to put a defensive line along this bridge, because like I said, you can have that multiple choke points, so you've got that area to fall back on, as opposed to more this style and this style, which is just going to be a hard defense. So essentially, if it does get broken through, which it shouldn't, because it's going to be overpopulated with people and turrets and all that other jazz, essentially it shouldn't get broken through. This one, on the other hand, because like this is going to be one of my first islands I probably look at clearing out, simply because it's not going to be a good idea to fight the zombie hordes from 3 fronts. Are there even any zombies up here? Or are they all down on the mainland? Because if I end up like another playthrough like last time, where I get the good old Chelsea trader, aka Patient Zero, being right on my doorstep, I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. So there is definitely an infection up there. So that island is going to get pretty zombified. So we might see if we could try to save this island. I mean, it's got a fairly nice population amount. But these pods are actually starting to spread relatively quickly. So that may maybe prove harder than...
It will be done.
Okay. So our first point of defense is going to be you. If they get past you,
I've got this under control.
that should hopefully leave us enough time to get these 2 down. Well, give us enough time to get him to blow the bridge. But that is going to be an absolute last resort. Because I don't really want to blow the bridge, because it simply means I then have to invest in aerial support in order to essentially get to that place. I mean, I know it's already going to have to happen with that island, but, you know, that island, having just the one island that you got to do it to is not so bad. I can just use the single sparrow, or I can even get a second sparrow just to speed up that process. I know that there are the Sharon or Black Hawk and the Chinook that you can use for transportation purposes, but that's really all they're good for. Like, outside of that, they don't really play enough of a versatile role, in my opinion, for at least for me to bother getting them, outside of, you know, wanting to move larger amounts of troops than the 6 at a time the Sparrow can take. But again, if you just stack up multiple Sparrows, it's not so much of an issue. But that's just my take on it. Everyone will play this game different. Everyone will have their own preferences, and everyone is welcome to have their own preferences and play styles. I'm sure there are people that'll sit there and watch the way I play these games and just be like, why? Why? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why do you spend so much time in pause mode or slow mode? Why don't you just run the game at normal speed all the time? Like, I'm sure there will be people who will complain about that. I have my reasons. I like taking my time in games like this, especially a game like this, when you can start to consider the tactical aspects. Yeah, sure, I could just run in here guns blazing, with the right unit combinations, right strategies, and basically systematically wipe out these pods almost from the get-go, especially if I start taking into account some of the more tactical things I can do, especially the ones that the zombies don't really have any way to combat against. Primarily things like using rooftops, sticking to aerial units more so than ground units, or at least try to keep ground units more off the ground. There's a trick to that. But essentially, there are a few tactics you can employ to essentially steamroll these zombies. That's not the point here. We don't want to steamroll the zombies. What we want to do is do a little bit of testing. And in order to do that, that's why I haven't changed most of the zombie spawning settings. Simply because I wanted these pods to spread as quickly as I could, so that way we can fulfill the engagement requirements that I'm trying to consider. Because, I mean, sure, I could just have a whole bunch of men sitting here all day and just sit here and watch and see, oh, okay, here comes a spitter, let's see how the targeting goes. Oh, here comes this one. I could do that. But that's a very, you know, a very placid sort of tactic to go about, you know, finding out just how effective these changes are. To me, I think it would be much more effective to, you know, get a couple of pods up, you know, Like, looking at this, if I was to go from here right now, what my consideration would be, you know, drop maybe 15 people of a squad right here, knowing that it's going to activate these pods, and those pods are just going to send endless hordes of zombies. Then we can watch and see the carnage that actually goes from there. See how long our boys can our boys and girls of the Cirque fighting forces can actually sustain themselves in a situation like that with these new mechanics. Because given the older ones, a lot of
What can I do for you?
situations could arise that would essentially lead to
I'm at your call.
your units being overrun. So,
Fix?
by the look of it, that
to do.
is still inaccessible. I'm not sure how the zombies go about reacting to that. See, like, whether or not they'll even be able to attack that is one whole question in and of itself. But if I destroy that, will the zombies then be able to path around that? I know my units can't, but does that mean their units can't? And again, that's something I do not want to test exactly, because that could be a very problematic test. It might be something I try a little bit later on, you know, when the testing phase of all the other stuff I want to look at is done. But for now, I guess all we can do is wait and see whether or not that does get attacked. But other than that, we're going to keep these like this. I want to see if any changes that have been made either does or doesn't stop zombies from going through there. And we do have enough cash that I can spare clearing out some of these potential line of sight obstructions. Because it's definitely something you don't really want to have happen. Like, essentially, where this guy's located, anything like, just like real life, like literally, I can't shoot through that big giant thing, right? Or that big post right there. And same as he can't see. So any zombies sort of, you know, that were, if they were smart enough to take note of that sort of stuff, could effectively avoid his fire, get all the way up to the fence line, and, you know, have a greater chance of being able to break through. So making sure units are positioned in key areas does end up being really crucial in this game. Just move you down so we can start the walling section over here. So the main reason for these walls is not actually to really keep the zombie hordes out, contrary to what a lot of people might think. Anyone who has played this game, I'm sure they know exactly where I'm about to go with this. But yes, as much as you might think that these walls that I am putting in right now, their primary intended focus is not actually keeping the zombies out. I mean, that is part of their focus. It's like a secondary part of their focus. But the main part of that fencing focus is simply, you know, stop the civilians. We don't want the civilians coming through and spreading the zombie virus if they're infected. So we need to enact our quarantine process. And our quarantine process basically involves all of our civilians lining up in front of a fence until I have time to deal with them. And when I have time to deal with them, and that's providing the fact they haven't been killed by other zombies running down, or other civilians turning into zombies and killing them and or infecting them. So if they manage to survive long enough for me to actually, you know, go, okay, I have the time to deal with you guys at the moment, then they can, you know, finally get transferred into usually the first containment compound that I make, and they kind of get stuck in there until the same situation arises again, that I'm able to take the time to sort of look at them, deal with them, do everything I need to, and then before sending them off to the safe zone where I can make money out of them. So it's just quite an interesting fact that this main defense that we place is really got very little to do with the zombies and more to do with, you know, the people.
Huh? What?
I mean, we're meant to be here to protect the people and everything, but I still find it funny that the main focus right now of these fencing is not in the people's protection, it's in my protection. I don't know if that would really work with a government organization. I don't know how well the populace would, take their government-funded taxes being turned into, this, a great big giant wall that just says, hey, there's a zombie apocalypse going on. We currently right now are designating this is the safe zone and this is the not safe zone. If you are on this side, we will eventually, at some point, if you do not die, if you do not become zombified, and if you are not infected, we'll be allowed to proceed past this first fence and go through our rigorous and sometimes very lengthy quarantine procedures. And after all of that, if you haven't gone clinically insane from being locked up and ignored because, I've got zombies to worry about and, the Walking Dead are seem to be a lot more important than the living because, the living you can just be like, hey, quiet man, I've got to deal with these Walking Dead, If they get through, we're all screwed. So, dealing with the living is so much easier. The Walking Dead, though, yeah, they're a lot harder to deal with. You kind of have to deal with them. They don't really give you a choice. The civilians, though, like I said, I can just leave them sitting pretty here up against the fence until I do have time to deal with them. Like I said, at worst, they're just going to turn into a flesh-eating man-eater, and they're going to, help basically fix my civilian management problem for me. Because, if there are no civilians, then there's no civilian management now, is there? So it works out, you see. Every reason, there's a reason for everything. There's a method behind everything. You may not agree with it. You may not like it. It may be a little bit evil.
What can I do for you?
Hey, sometimes, that saying you gotta sacrifice the few to save the many. Well, in this case, we're sacrificing the many to save the few because at the end of the day, we can still rebuild the population from a few people, So long as we have guaranteed a nice little safety net of people to, rebuild the population from, it's all good. But you can't really rebuild the population, if the whole population's zombified. So we focus on containment. And it just so happens that these lucky people just so happen to, they win that lottery draw of everything just so happens to be right. Out of all the choices that we have, we decide we want to save this spot out of everywhere else. And unfortunately, that's the way things work sometimes, right? But I'm gonna stop that now and basically try and focus a bit more on this gameplay because I could sit here and make jokes about this all day long. But I don't know how entertaining that'll be for everyone. Now, I really don't understand why it's costing me different amounts in order to upgrade these TEDs, but it is what it is. Get the ammo tent for you guys. See, I really don't... I'm gonna do it.
Sir.
I really don't want to pull him down from there, but I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna do it by helicopter, just to make it a little bit faster, because I want to get a fence up there. I really don't trust that the rate these pods are spreading. The fact we already have 4 pods in here, one of those is going to be a gas pod. That's going to be a real issue, something we may have to try to focus on really early, so we do need to try and get some funding going, which is made difficult by the fact that I can't upgrade this. Well, not by the fact that I can't upgrade it, it's for some reason it's an astronomical price in order to upgrade that. I mean, usually it's only a couple of $100 to get the first upgrade, and then maybe like 1,000 or so to get the second one, and that's at the high end of the scale. The fact that it's nearly 5,500 just for the first upgrade here, it's that cost to return ratio is just being destroyed by that one
Engineer
little
ready.
thing. Now, one thing I am
Not being
interested
paid
in.
by the hour.
So I have built a fence here a
Uncle
couple
Sam
of
ain't gonna like
times,
this.
and it has glitched out to the
Give me something
point
to shoot
where
already.
this one section here always seems to let the zombies through. So
What do you
that's what I was checking just there. Just wanted to see what happened.
What can I do for you?
You need to get down and finish this side, but nope, you've gone and got
Build
yourself
all
stuck
day.
on the fence. Nope,
Party
you're
all
just
night.
glitching out.
Give me an order.
It's okay. We all have those moments. We all glitch out every now and then, you know?
I love hard work.
Some of us worse than others. Okay, we've got zombie presence. Oh, okay. Nope, you're not going anywhere. We've got this again. No. So this is definitely one thing I really do hope that the devs can
got
figure
you,
out
sir.
and fix ASAP, because essentially, as far as I'm aware, I can't repair that. I can't interact with that in any way. So I can build over the top of it, yeah, but the problem is it starts to get really complicated to build over the top of that, because here, let me just show you.
What can I do
Easier,
for you?
picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So here we go. If I want to go build this back now, I have to build basically an end piece, and then try and get it to join back up to this end piece and get it to go. The problem is, though, every time I keep
Engineer
doing
ready.
this, the more... Where are you going?
Ready to go.
The more that I keep doing this, the worse this problem is going to get. So instead of this wall ended up being a nice, beautiful section of wall like that, it's actually just going to really end up being a series of these end pieces just with teeny tiny little fence pieces in the middle, and it just looks horrible. It's a pain in the ass to manage, and oh boy, we have a zombie rush. We get out. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay, we're gonna have to get a couple.
Proud to serve. Ready and willing, sir.
So I actually was not
Ready
expecting
to go.
these to be pushing down so early, especially considering we kind of went with the easy mode. That's proving to be a problem, because it means that if that's already pushing, yeah, look at that, that's already infected. So we're really going to have to get this fence line up, otherwise we're going to start getting infected civilians coming in. Oh boy, okay, let's get us out another one of these.
Do you have
That's
something
already
for me to
up,
fix?
so they're not going to be able to walk through. That's the main thing. You can stop building that. We need you to come down. This other guy, when he gets in, he can build that. Or girl, whatever sex it decides to pick for me. Okay, you're in. We need to get you flying down here. We need to get this fence line up, or else we're going to have a zombie infestation on our hands. Now, for some reason, they've all just stopped coming in, so
As you command.
I'm not too sure what's caused
I have
that.
a bad
I'm
feeling
not
about
going to, you know, fight against it. I'm going to take it, because every advantage we can get at this stage of the game is, hey, it's an advantage. Why would you not want it?
Huh? What?
So long as we're not flat outright cheating, then it's okay. This is good. We got a nice little defensive line. These guys should easily be able to defend that. The fact that they were all covered with ammo means I'm not going to have to worry about that,
You, sir.
which is excellent. Our chopper should be here. Let's get you dropping off. Come back up to here.
What can I do for
Select you. We want you going straight up to there. He's building that. Our chopper is landed. It's like the tiniest little bit over on that concrete side barrier, so it wouldn't let me eject him. Alright. We want our first fence line. I think I can make this a double fence, actually. Should just be enough room to make it a double fence off memory. That to there. that to there, and it should allow us to do a double. No, probably won't. That looks a bit too small, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind that.
What can I do for you?
But what I actually do want to do, first of all,
Give me more work to
we
do.
want you on the other side. Winter, we want you on the other side. Because if we lose Winter, we lose the game. So that's why she goes on the other side. The engineer goes on the other side because we want him to be... her. Cheryl,
What can I
her.
do for you?
We want her to put down a couple of generators down here, so when we decide we want to put up a few turrets, we can. See, so this is the dangerous part, nighttime. Zombie activity tends to get a little bit more aggressive at night. At least that is one thing I have noticed. I don't know how true that might hold for other people, but I certainly have realized
I'm
that
at your call.
at night zombies do tend to be a little bit more aggressive. But for some reason they are just, you know, holding their own out there. So I'm
At
not
your
going
command.
to complain.
On the go.
And the good thing is, because they're holding their own out there, I can actually start focusing on getting base defenses up once these fence lines are fully incorporated.
Ready and willing, sir.
Oh, beautiful. Right on the dotted line. Don't think I could have gotten closer if I tried. So you're going to finish building that, which is great. Then we can look at getting a couple more turrets up.
Give me
But we do want you to repair that sucker first. Okay, someone just fired up. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a lot.
Give me an order. Engineer, ready.
Jeez, that was quite a little push. See what I mean? They tend to get a little bit more aggressive. Or maybe it was just the fact that I moved the engineer close enough to trigger an aggravation on them.
Do
In
you have
either
something for
way,
me to fix?
they destroyed our little end post, which I'm not liking too much. Come on, repair, repair, repair. We need you to repair. Faster, faster, faster. I really don't know. You know what? I'm going to put it back in. Just, if it'll let me.
What can I do for you?
Okay.
I'm at your call.
It won't let me. I guess I won't be putting that back in. But we can get one defensive turret. Two defensive turrets. No, we'll get this one over here. Two defensive turrets. You know what? I'm going to replace
I
you
love
too.
hard work.
I'm going to put you over here, my friend. You're going to be like that. Yeah, I like that much better. And that way we can place one here. That way it can sort of have like an opening of that. Because that can't cover. And this one, if I did set it up right, should... No, I didn't. I have to bring it back a bit. Okay. Need to bring you back a bit. Where are you there?
Give me more work to do.
I forgot to enable. So you have two options to rotate your turret. You can either do it with the RNT or you can do it with the mouse. The only thing is, if you go and use the RNT, you have to press your left shift button to change it back to the mouse option. And I tend to forget that. So
Engineer ready. I love hard work.
that's why that just happened. Please don't tell me you're stuck on a fence. You're not. Good. Now I'm kind of kicking myself because I really should have made sure this engineer was on the other side. The problem with the engineer being on this side is primarily I now have to put in a gate. I'm really not liking my options for gates because I like to do like a little bit of an airlock, especially with my gates going in and out of infected zones. And just because of where I've placed our little ammo tent here, essentially right here in the middle where I do like to keep my airlocks if I can, is not really viable because we've got a great big tent right in the middle of it, which doesn't exactly help me out. So what I might have to do is use one of these offside ones, or maybe even both. Use this one because you're closer.
Build all day, party all night. Huh?
And we need you to be quick. Oh, you don't even have the money.
What can I do for you?
Come on, tick over, there we go. Okay, we need a generator. And then once the generator's up, hopefully it's in range that it'll give that power. You have for some
Do you
reason
have something
stopped
for me to
building.
fix?
I should have stayed in bed.
Okay, so this is starting to spread really quickly. I don't like how quickly it's spreading. Nor do I like how quickly it sucks this populations dry. Like, wow, these are meant to be a few thousand, and they're just getting decimated. Wow. See, this one's going pretty slow. That one's been decimated. That's going down. And that's going down. See, like, the rate that... Whoa. Is that... Wow, okay, that is very interesting. Okay. I am curious about that now. Is that on my end or is that the game's end? We're going to test that out. So what we're going to do is we're going to save the game right here. We're going to exit to the main menu. This is why we made this game, this particular playthrough, so I can test this stuff out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a whole brand new game right now. And we're going to have a look at that spot right there and see if that same graphical occurrence, you know, does the exact same thing. If it does the exact same thing, then chances are it might be on my end. If it doesn't do the exact same thing, then... Okay, so we know that the deploy menu still doesn't work. But if it doesn't do the same thing, then I'm guessing it's not on my end, and it could very well be a corruption in that save, or maybe... I don't know what else could have triggered that. But I'm definitely gonna have to try to clip that for our game creators, because I can't seem to replicate that at the moment. I don't know if there was some other condition that was met in order for me, or in order for that to happen, whether or not it was, like I said, even a my thing, whether it was a game thing. But that was really weird. What we might do, what if we go exit to main menu and we load that save that we just made. So let's load game. Now the thing we do need to look at, so we're at 46. Let's go all the way down until we see 45. We got a few on 45 for some reason. So now we just got to match up the dates to times. So I'm guessing that was the game we just done, and I'm guessing that's the save we just made. See, there are ways around tracking it. It would be easier if, you know, they just kept them all a little bit more grouped or something. But see, look at that, it's gone now. We'll just scroll away. Let's turn on all their flashlights. Hey, look, we have the good old, if you reload your save, you get random zombies.
have
So
a
I see
bad
that
feeling
still
about
is
this.
an unfortunate thing. I'm wondering, that was it the zombies that were like up here? Have they now teleported down here or something? Because those zombies weren't there before. I'm pretty 100% sure that if I go back and look at my video as far as I can, those zombies were not there. You might get overrun here, buddy, so can you throw a grenade?
As you command. I'll handle it.
Ooh,
Moving there.
that was scary. But I doesn't seem like I can... I thought maybe it might have been the way I was looking at it. I don't know what was causing it before, but it seems that saving and reloading has fixed it. So that's nice. I'll take that. What I really do wish, maybe I should have given myself more money, just so I could get out a bigger starting force. But even so, I'm looking at the way they're prioritizing our targets right here. On these zombies that are running in, I'm already seeing somewhat of an improvement in this whole thing. Really? You just don't? Okay, engineer,
Do you have something for me to fix?
you glitched out. So it cost me $1,000 to put a tower down there. Now, it seems that before the tower got built, whether it had even started is another question. But when I saved the game and have reloaded it, I no longer have that blueprint, or that blueprint placed down. Yet it has still cost me $1,000. Okay, we found another potential bug. Interesting. The things we can find when you test the game and look for these. Well, not so much look for them, but just see what happens. This is how a lot of bugs get found, believe it or not. That's alright. We've got a nice little basic base defense to go off, so I'm not too worried. I really want to be able to see a bit more of how the zombies, how the target acquisition and all of that works, but without forcing one of these pods to go aggro, and I can't really do that until I actually... Wait, how...
Huh?
I'm guessing you
What?
don't transfer power. That would be the most logical sense. But that's okay. See, this one hasn't even been infected yet, has it? Yeah, so you're not going to see any action for quite a while. And I doubt you're going to start pushing this way anytime soon, because you have so much to fill up there. I guess this is the only one I'm really going to be able to try to coax into actually allowing me
Moving out.
to, in a safe way, aggravate one of these hives. Or pods,
On
or
station.
gooey structures, whatever you might want to refer to these lovely things as.
Ready to go.
But essentially, we're going to send out our sacrificial unit. Before sacrificial unit gets too far, we're just going to bring in some more people.
I love hard work.
And then,
Build all day,
our
party all night.
sacrificial unit runs
I'll
up,
handle it.
avoids the
On the
special
go.
infected.
Moving out. I've got your 6. I'll handle it.
Oh, that was a weird pathing choice,
Ready
bud.
and willing, sir.
I've got you, sir.
We need you to come get this turret. It's a bit far back, but I'm going to take it. Yeah, I'm going to take it.
At
You,
your command.
keep running.
Moving there.
We want you to activate a hive.
I have a bad
We're
feeling
doing
about
something
this.
I normally would not do in a normal
As you command.
playthrough.
As you order. As you wish.
If you manage to make it back to
On
base,
station.
Helen, I will be truly
Ready
amazed.
to go.
Surprisingly, at
Give me
this
orders.
weight, she might actually succeed.
On station.
Okay, moment of truth
On
time.
station. Give me orders. On the go. I've got your 6.
Is the pod
I
not
have
going
a
to
bad
activate?
feeling about this. Moving out.
Oh,
As
that
you
was
order.
a
As
bad
you
idea.
go. A team is under attack. As you command. Moving there. I'll handle it.
Okay, what about this
At your
pod?
command.
You're going to activate.
Ready to go.
No. So I've run past 2 pods now and neither have activated. Interesting.
I've got your 6.
Very, very interesting.
Moving out.
So normally when you get in close proximity of these pod thingies, they start spewing out zombies. Kind of like that one started to, but it only got to 2.
I'll handle it.
Yeah, I'm not quite
me
understanding why exactly they're
On
not
station. Moving there.
pumping out infected like they usually do. Oh, they've put the evacuation mechanic in? How does that work now? That's a good question. How does that work? How do I go
A
about...
unit has
Oh,
been
he died.
under attack.
She died. That's what happens when you stop running.
Ready to go.
Proud to serve.
I
I'm
mean,
at
I
your
didn't
command.
give her the
Aye, sir.
run orders that I did just for, you know, the sake of giving someone run orders. Okay. We do want to close that fence, please.
Build all day, party all night.
And we'll pop a generator over this side. Generator down here. What?
Moving
Back
there.
up, back up, back up, back the fidget.
As you wish. Moving out.
Okay. So the targeting acquisition seems to be doing a lot better, at least so far. I haven't really tested it under too many stringent conditions yet, but you're not going to let me build on the bridge, are you? You horrible, horrible thing. I wonder when they changed that. Ah. Why? Why? Because I don't actually think these things will really fire up onto the bridge. So may as well remove you and
I've got you,
replace
sir.
you. And we're going to put you down along in there. And then we're also going to have to bring that fence line further back. That's okay. That's okay. Got a bit more money, so what I want to do now is get a couple of medics out. Because we can, well, as we start getting some turrets and everything
at
up,
your
we
call.
can effectively look at effectively look at trying to I want to give you
How can I help?
the big boy gun.
I'm not sure I'm cut
The
out for
big
this.
boy gun.
I've had better days.
That way we could essentially start moving some of these out into, you know, trying to test out the new faction AI, or the zombie AI, I should say.
On the go.
What can I do for you?
But we do need to make sure we have a relatively stable defense up and running before that, because if the zombies break through, I'm in a lot of trouble. So making sure we have enough of the right
I have a bad feeling about this.
right defenses in place
As you
is really kind of important. And with the new guard tower options that you have, oh, are they juicy? You know what? What if we did it more like this? Yeah, okay, I like that. I like that. I like it. You kind of like that. Yeah. And that one we sort of had just on the outskirts here. Oh, yeah. I'm loving that. Alright, zombie hordes. Do your worst.
What can I do for you?
Interesting. So I didn't even actually have enough money to really place that, but it still let me.
Work.
Okay, devs, that's... Surely that's not intended, devs. Surely that is not intended. I don't have the money, and yet I'm still able to put them down. Surely that is not intended. Hey, don't get me wrong, as nice as I like that, that has got to be a bug. So that's 3 potential bugs so far. That's the funny thing. I wasn't even really looking for bugs in this aspect of the game. I was mainly looking for bugs and issues with the, the pathfinding, with the zombie AI, with the targeting mechanics. I haven't even gotten to test any of that, and I've already come across 3 bugs. Like, oh wow, definitely not what I was expecting. Our snipers, these guard towers, dang, that's an insane range. Holy hell. Okay, wow. Like, I know snipers have an incredible range and all, but that I think might be a bit too much. I honestly think that might be a bit too much. Like, as a static guard tower, like, I mean, I know it's limited by the gun it's equipped with. So he's only got 4 shots, before he has to reload. But the fact that he reveals so much line of sight basically means that if you could have them there like that, and then all you would need is maybe 2 heavies, a handful of assaults just as a backup, and then primarily all you'd really need is maybe another 4 snipers, 2 on each side, or maybe 3 of the spec ops with the DMR. And that would just, because of that sight that's being given, that would just be overpowered. Okay, let's have a look how this targeting priority goes. It's actually doing pretty good. Like, it's primarily focusing on the biggest threats, i.e. the ones that are closest first, so that's looking good in that situation. I really do want to see how it plays out in a more
Give me an
like,
order.
a more sort of pushed on all fronts, got a lot of going on. I am tempted to try and push up with this little squad
Give
here,
me more work to do.
but I don't know if I want to at the same time.
What can I do for you?
I mean, I wouldn't have so much issue if I had more of these defenses finished up, I guess. But knowing that I have so many potential weak points right now, I need to wait for this to get built. I need to take this down. I need to bring these guys back a bit. Because that's not doing us any good there.
On the go.
The other thing I need to concern myself with is how's the zombie progression. They still haven't taken this one. How's the populations? So that's dwindling fairly slowly. Look, that one's already gone. That one's gone. That one... What was that at before? Like 1600, I think? I really don't understand just why it is these are... Look at that. That was like 1700, wasn't it? I just don't understand that turnover rate. Like, that's 5,000 down to 900. And it's still only at 33%. Like, that turnover rate, that infection rate of... Yeah, that's just crazy. Something needs to be looked at or done about that, because that's just crazy. How fast that population has transferred over into being infected is... That is a bit unrealistic. Like I said, the turnover rate of that infection is just insane.
On station. At your command.
Okay, I honestly don't think much could be done for that.
Give me
One of
some
yous
the
were
shit.
bound to get stuck.
What do you want?
There's always one, isn't there?
Give me an order. I'm at your call. I love hard work.
Just because I can. I did say I wanted to test some of this stuff, so we are going to test it. And test it we shall. Actually, no, let's not put it there.
What can I do for you?
We will instead put it here. Ah. So that way, it's not likely to obscure my units. Boom, listen to him. Look at that. Look at that insane range. He's attacking them from all the way back there. And the most funniest thing is, the thing has infinite ammo. And it doesn't cost me anything to, you know, supply him with ammo. That is just insanely overpowered. Like, as a static guard tower, why would you really need these? I mean, look at that. These two snipers are literally dealing with this. This one might be a bit different story, because I don't think you can get a line of sight on them. But I'm honestly thinking we should be pretty okay here. Can we change this? Oop. There we go. Bring the civilians! Bring the civilians! Ah, yep. There you go, I've had my fun.
I love hard work.
What else do we have? A warning cone? Let's just get that in there. Let's see what it looks like. We're gonna get some stop signs on either side. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And then the little supply boxes.
Something's moving out there.
Oh yeah. I love it, I love it, I love it.
Give me an order. What can I do for you? Build all day, party all night.
Just cause I... Whoa. Okay, it was glitching out on that... Yeah, that sign. That sign... seems to... Oop. You set off a car. Someone did. But this sign shall read... Pity I can't get rid of the rest of it. Zombie-free zone. Hopefully. So there we go. They all come on in and they get to read. Search checkpoint ahead. Prepare to be caged like an animal. Stop. Search checkpoint ahead. Civilian safety is not guaranteed. Search checkpoint ahead. Zombie-free zone. Hopefully. I like it. There you go. See the things you can do, the fun you can have on games. But I haven't even really gotten to test what I wanted to test. It's been like almost an hour already. What I might do is just quickly push these guys up. I'm actually liking the way this targeting priority is. Normally if I had have left a group like this, knowing that we've got active zombies bearing down on us from a few different directions, normally they would die.
Hostile spotted.
I do dislike how it's splitting them like that. I kind of wish it wouldn't. So I don't know who number 9 is. Or why they're running up like that.
At your command. I'll handle it.
I kind of dislike the way it auto sort of sets them out. So I'm just going to do a little manual setting out myself. So you three, one down there. You three, next up. You three, bringing up the rear. Everyone get into position.
Hold still.
I think I see something.
As you order.
I didn't tell you to move, so why? Okay. So we get one here. One here.
Give me
One slightly up ahead.
On station. I have a bad feeling about this.
One there. One there. One there.
What do you want?
That's for you. We get one there. That's for you. We get one there. That's for you. I guess we'll get you beside this guy.
Green duty, sir.
So I'm actually liking this target priority system. Like, currently so far with them coming head on like this, they seem to be targeting at least a lot more efficiently the bigger threats. What I'm gonna do now is push you into a circle and move you out. I don't know why they're running like that.
Give me orders.
That seems to be the most effective way to stop them from running when they sort of seem to get into that way, is to, you know, use this toggle their run on and off. don't know what they were meant to be targeting behind them.
As you can
But I must say, this is definitely a lot better. I don't know about that judgment. So just there, they were all basically targeting one zombie back here, whilst, yeah, one was getting up real close. I'm not too sure about that judgment. But I must say, even from multiple angles here, they don't actually seem to be getting overrun. Just drop them in an ammo and see how they hold up. But right now, to be honest, this... even the civilian AI is being a little bit smarter about how it's going about things. I wonder how much of a change that may have made on the factions if this has been applied to the factions. But really, this is actually going quite a lot better than I thought it would. Let's just keep moving this forward. Let's see how far we can push this before you know, get overrun. Okay, so yeah, okay, so you still have a bit of trouble with stuff coming up behind.
I've got your 6.
But you actually all really took care of that. That was actually really good. Like, normally if they come up behind like that, your squad's almost gone at that point because of how close those zombies were, because of how many there were. But even though I told them all to attack one, once they finished with that one zombie, the way they actually distributed their firing just then to actually take out the last of those zombies,
Ready to go.
that is a nice change. I do like that. I mean, it may make this combat a little bit too easy now. I don't know. We haven't really pushed it too far yet. But the fact that I've got zombies right now pushing in from 3 different flanks, and I'm actually not having any difficulties. And this is not a very optimal army. Like, really, realistically, only 3 heavies and 3 assaults, that's not a lot.
Away team is under attack.
Okay, so they seem to be struggling a bit here now. So they got a little bit overrun there. But that's to be expected. Spitters, and the fact that I don't have this set to prioritize mutated yet, that does actually make sense why those spitters got so close. But I mean, even from the point where I'm sort of forced to retreat, the targeting of the zombie hordes seems to be a lot better. In any other situation, this squad would have been overrun by now. I'm not going to debate that. This squad in that situation would be dead. The fact that it's not, and it's still going,
Moving there.
I think that this new update,
Ready to
the
go.
changes they've made with this targeting system, I think it's a very good step.
Ammo
I think it might be a little too good, but this is still only early days. I haven't really tried dropping a bunch in the middle of a situation like this, but from what I see right now, I honestly don't think I would need to really do that to test it, because given the way the AI used to work, that there should have been dead just from what it was experiencing in that situation. So I think it's pretty safe to say right now that what we have here... hey look, this is back. Oh, it's gone again. Okay. Only seems to be at a certain distance. Like, from a certain distance. Doesn't matter. It's interesting. It's only under certain angles that it does it. So, and then that's just moving it one screen out. And that's... Yeah, see? I'm gonna have to show that to the devs, see what they make of that one. I really don't... I'm not sure whether that's my end or not. But this... I honestly think that whatever they've done with the mechanics here in regards to the targeting priorities of your units, they've definitely done something right in this regard, because the way that these are actively targeting, like, look at that. And that is when you think about it, that is a pretty light defense. 2 sniper towers with the 4 machine gun turrets just as a backup. Normally I would have 3 machine gun turrets. Like 3 covering that side, 3 covering there, and maybe 1 or 2 sort of cover in the middle, for a total of about 8. And that's just as a standard, you know, sort of hold the line against this sort of stuff. Nothing too crazy. The fact that I've got 4 turrets, and only one of them has really used ammo, the others hardly touched it, and these 2 aren't even into theirs whatsoever. And the fact that this... I mean, it probably does help I do have these here. Yes, if I was to take them back, these turrets would be used. But effectively, right now... No, civilians stay outside. This is a civilian-free zone.
Give me orders. On station.
So let's just move these down here. I just want to see how this holds up. Yeah, I figured that against these fatties they wouldn't do so well.
I've got your...
They are the fatties after all. But I mean, all up, I really don't have to... I could put a very minimal defense along this. Maybe an assault rifleman on either side with a heavy gunner in the middle. And I don't think I would need too much more beyond this setup. That's pretty insane. I must say, just from what I'm seeing right now, without pushing the limits of these zombies too much... Hey, how dare you destroy my signs? I mean, they might offend you and all, but no. Freedom. I have a right to have my signs. If you don't like them, then please see that guy up in the guard tower. He has something to give to you. I do like these towers. Look at him go. Look at him go. Just look at that. Fight off those zombie hordes, bud. Fight them off. Like, honestly, that's just up. Look how many zombies are actually coming. Considering that really, it's not until they actually get to about here that all my men actually start firing. All these are being taken out by the 2 snipers and these automated turrets. That is insane. That is just insanity. The sheer power. Holy hell. I mean, yes, it's taking a little bit of damage, but with an engineer, that wouldn't be an issue. Just have an engineer patrolling back and forth, doing all the repairs as needed. Hey! When did that happen? I didn't see my engineer go around and do that. Did anyone else see that? Before he couldn't even get there. Okay. Wow. Wow. I don't know if that's because of how much I've tweaked the settings or not, but dang, for this early in the game, that's a lot of money. I mean, I know I haven't really been spending anything or doing much. I've just kind of been seeing how these defenses hold out, but holy hell. Like, really? That right there is... That is insane. That is pretty damn insane. 2 snipers and 4 auto turrets is literally enough to take care of this.
What?
Like I said, at most, all I would need to do is put one of them on patrol. Nope. Try that again.
Give me more work.
Now, do you repair on patrol? That is the question. It doesn't seem you do. You attack on patrol, but you don't repair. That's alright. But I mean, look at that. I've basically moved our dudes down to ensure that they're definitely not firing on this stuff.
I have a bad feeling about this.
And this is just holding its own, like, literally. I honestly did not expect this. Like, I know how effective these turrets are. They are effective, don't get me wrong. But just 4 turrets alone should not be able to do this. And I definitely did not expect that just adding in 2 sniper towers, or 2 of these towers, and then replacing the guy's gun with the sniper, that it would be so effective. Like, literally, if I was to put down just 1 more tower here with another sniper, I honestly don't think a single zombie would ever touch this fence, except for maybe a lieutenant or patient 0. Okay. I don't know where that's coming from. I have no idea. That is a little interesting. But I mean, I am truly surprised by just how insanely powerful that is. Wait, we got an infection? How? How did anyone manage to make it past considering it's all fenced off?
Give me more work to do.
Uncle Sammy gonna like this.
How?
Give me orders.
I don't get that. I really don't.
At your command. As you wish. Moving there.
I need to find this pod. There it is. I'm truly curious how anything got past though. Because it's completely blocked off. How? They couldn't have got past here because I've been blasting them all. They've definitely not gotten past over here because look, all the fencing is still intact, and I did try before to send someone over there and he just glitched out on the fence, so...
Being paid by the hour.
And I mean, these guys are all still here, and this fence is all still intact. So how exactly did this pod manage to
go.
rear its ugly head here? Speaking of rearing ugly heads, can you two just die before you zombify on me? You're not as infected, but we're still gonna kill you before you zombify on me.
Enemy has been killed.
If only I was worried about collecting DNA like right now. Like, that's a hell of a lot of DNA. And I haven't even actively been doing anything to try and collect DNA. That's just from these turrets going haywire defending against this. Look, I'm gonna stop this right here. I know I wanted to test a few more things, but from what I've seen, I think that the new AI for the game
Got your 6.
is definitely up to par for what it needs to be to have a tactical engagement against these zombie hordes without being overrun. In saying that, I do think there are a few things that maybe need to be tweaked with some of these changes. Like maybe the targeting might be a little too effective. The fact that I had that squad surviving against a 3-way attack like that with literally only that one mess up because of the spitters sneaking in from behind. Other than that, they shouldn't have survived, let alone as long as they did, but as well as they did. The next thing is definitely these towers. I'm not sure about the other gun choices, but essentially the sniper on these towers, I think it might be a bit too much. Because I know for a fact that 4 autogun turret towers is not enough to hold that line. You need at least 6 to 8 to effectively have not only the coverage needed to kill it, but the zombie killing potential in any area of coverage because of the way the turrets work. So essentially, like I say, you need 3 to kind of just guard that section, and then you need 3 for that section, and then you need 2 for that. You can pretty much have one of these 3, so 2, so 3 and 2, and basically have the third one here double up as a third on that one, but it does take away some defensive protection from that. But essentially, that there would be enough to sort of hold down something like this without ever letting a zombie get to the fence. The fact that I've got the 4 towers and the 2 sniper towers, and like literally they're just getting slaughtered before they even have a chance to get anywhere near my fence. They might get up close and get a hit or 2 in. See, this one might get close because there's so many. But even so, like, look at that. These dudes, they're definitely not shooting it. They're all the way down here trying to kill this pod.
As you command.
Which they aren't even attacking for some reason.
I've got your 6. I have a bad feeling about this. On the go.
There we go, now you are.
At your command.
Now I just gotta hope to God that there's no more pods, but at that percentage, I'm definitely guessing there is. See, we've got another pod up there. I'm guessing there might be a pod somewhere over here. I just try to remember the exact spots that they pop up. I'm pretty sure a pod pops up down there as well.
As you command.
Let's
As
just
you
get
wish.
a couple of you down to there.
Ready to go.
Civilian, dead person, nope, letterbox. I did thought I saw a zombie over here, but maybe he died. Hopefully he died. Trying to see anything at night. Ugh.
On station.
So I want you guys up here ASAP. You're probably infected, so let's just kill you.
Warning. A unit has been killed.
I have a bad feeling about
So I'm
this.
guessing that's the last pod in this section. So once these guys get over here and
Moving out.
take it
On the
out,
go.
I should be okay. But I still don't understand how the hell the zombie managed to actually get into
Give me orders.
a completely sealed off area. That I really don't understand. Looks like we had a
Go.
zombie out over here. How? I truly do not get that one.
Give me orders. Steady fire.
But the worst part is, now that that's been infected, I I have to be careful
As you
because
wish.
it's very likely that
Moving there.
I'm going to have another infested person pop up somewhere.
Ready to go.
And that lovely infested person is going to, you know, cause me a whole bunch of trouble. So let's just get you guys doing a loop like that.
I'll handle it.
I don't know why I'm doing this, considering I'm not even planning to continue this playthrough much longer. But yeah, I still want to know how that pod got there in the first place, because like I said, there's no logical way that it could have gotten in. I know that I had that destroyed for a moment there, but again, no zombies got past. They actually all got killed. So, yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. But like I said, I think I've tested enough to get a general grasp of how this new firing mechanic is going. It's definitely something, or the targeting AI is going. It's definitely something I'm going to have to look at it in a bit more in depth later on. But I think for now, from what I've seen, it's going to be a much better gameplay experience. I'd like to test out some of the other things as well, but I mean, I'm kind of a bit far into the game right now in terms of zombie progress and a lot of other things I wanted to look at. It it would take me a while in order to basically get myself into the position that I can actually test these other things. Whereas if I was to restart the game and start afresh, working from that sole purpose, looking at testing that, it would be much quicker. In this one, like I said, primarily because I was only focused on mainly testing the targeting AI, the zombie AI, and everything, I stuck with this start out because I knew it would give me the quickest, basically it would be the quickest in actually getting zombies to come and fight me, but also being the quickest to be able to set up sort of semi-hard situations to just to test the soldiers at. But I am going to leave this one here. I know it hasn't been too much of a fun one. It's mainly been bug testing and whatnot, but I do hope you have enjoyed it. Got to see some of the interesting things that do happen in this game and that can be found if you aren't afraid to have a little bit of fun with it. But yes, this has just been a quick little look at some of those changes. I will do a full playthrough focusing pretty much on all of these changes to hopefully to some degree, and I'll look at doing that in the next couple of days. I just kind of wanted to get this one out there because I just really wanted for myself just to see these new changes in action and just see how effective they actually were. So I'm going to leave it here. If you are liking the videos, please feel free to like, follow, and subscribe. As always, don't hesitate to leave a comment in that comment section down below, either about the video, the game itself, or anything else in general. Put it there, it'll be there. I'll do my best to answer it if I can. But until next time, everyone, I am Tatey. This is Tatey's World Gaming. We have been playing Cepheus Protocol. And until next time, have a good one.